The King of Fighters 94, the title that started it all, the beginning of the franchise we all love so dearly. My name is Nabil, and today we're going to talk about something very special that only few people actually did see before. Now before I get started, a gentle reminder to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you are notified whenever I drop a new video. Now, the King of Fighters 94 started it all, as I said. The game came out obviously in 1994, and I still remember to this day the first time my eyes saw this amazing, beautiful looking title. Coming from Street Fighter 2, coming from Fatal Fury 2 actually, and other SNK games, I never expected to see something as beautiful as KOF94 back in the day. And again, yes, I'm old enough that I actually have experienced the game, the first King of Fighters, in the arcades. Now, the first time I saw it, I remember, it was in a French magazine. And I said, what, 3 characters with 1 credit? Oh my god, this is heaven. I remember when the game was at the local arcade, and I was thinking, oh my god, on 1 credit, I can play longer than playing Street Fighter 2. I don't want to play Street Fighter 2 Turbo anymore, I just want to play this game, and that's how I fell in love with the King of Fighters series. Now, the King of Fighters 94, as I said, was the beginning of this franchise that, we all love so dearly. So at that time, SNK did not know what they had in their hands, right? They did not know how successful this is going to be. The idea of the King of Fighters 94 itself came from Ryo Sakazaki being an actual guest character in Fatal Fury Special. He was a hidden boss, true, but he was playable in some of the home ports. And people loved that so much that SNK wanted to do a game where they combine some of their characters from different IPs. Legend has it, well, it's not legend, it's actually confirmed that the prototype for the King of Fighters was a side-scroller, right? It was a side-scroll like Street of Rage or Final Fight, and where you get to play as Terry and Robert and Yo and some of the other characters from both Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting, but that changed at the last minute. With this change, there was a lot of uncertainty from SNK. They didn't know how this game is going to be seen. They didn't know what kind of vibe they're going to give the game. So obviously there were a lot of designs and unused designs and unused characters before they decided which teams or which characters they're going to put in the King of Fighters. And up until now, we haven't seen these unused characters because we don't have access to a lot of these amazing Japanese magazines that they get really into the details of these games. Now, luckily, some people are kind enough that they got some of these magazines and scanned them and put them on the internet. And I didn't know that until I saw a tweet from 05 Pro at 05 Pro, where he showed some unused concepts for the King of Fighters 94, and he gave the link. The link, you can find it in the description below, where you can download the actual Gamist. This is a Gamist MOOC magazine dedicated to the King of Fighters 94. So I just want to share with you some really awesome designs that didn't make the cut. So let's start here with the first one, and look at that. Now these are unused characters. So as you can see, they really didn't know what they were gonna do with the game. So this is, I don't know what this is. I have no idea. I can't read kanji yet, so this is Dokono. I can't see what this is. No hito yowanta. I don't know what that means, but it's kind of interesting. There's an up and down. What is this? Like this lady has roulette bras or something. So I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is human, but this is quite interesting. Then you have this next one. There's a little girl here, which I don't know why it reminds me. She reminds me of Sylvie for some reason. So not sure what was her deal or how is she gonna play. But again, this is clearly some very early designs. Then we have the businessman here, who probably was gonna use his his bag at hidden people, which is something that they did in another game with Neo Geo Battle Colosseum, but not with this guy, right? And the next one I want to check out here is this scholar boy or girl, I'm not sure. She or he just graduated from college and they are fighting in a 3 versus 3 tournament. So clearly this was not gonna work. You can clearly see how the game was, in its early design was gonna be very different. Let's talk about the next one. This guy reminds me of a very old movie where they were, making fun of superhero movies. I can't remember the name of the game. Was it I can't remember. Mystery Man. Yes, there was a guy in it who looked exactly like this design. Like he has this mysterious, magician with, I don't know what it's supposed to be, like a shake or something, but quite interesting design nonetheless. Then we have someone that looks like, has a lion mask. Remember Tiger Mask? Well, this was going to be a lion mask, apparently. And obviously, this did not make the cut. And so far, I don't see anybody that actually am missing. I was saying, oh, that was going to be a cool design. That would have not fit on how the King of Fighters 94 is to me. The next one is with a Viking-ish with a mask dude who actually would fit World Heroes much better than he would fit the King of Fighters. But again, very interesting things that we get to see now. I never knew this existed, and I'm so happy I found this now because I'm in the process of writing the script of the history of the King of Fighters documentary. Yes, the documentary that was gonna be filmed in Japan is some very interesting updates I'm gonna make, not in this video. I'll be doing another video in the next couple days where you guys know what's going on. The next design I want to talk about is this, whatever this is. This looks like Potemkin from Guilty Gear, right? And then the next one is character that looks out of JoJo for some reason. Maybe it would work as a boss. It just still does not fit KOF for sure. The next one is this kung fu funky looking dude who has some Chun-Li hair stuff in his head that kind of look very goofy, and I'm pretty sure it's no, that would not have worked at all. The next one is this lady. I don't know who she's supposed to be. I don't know what's that in her hand. I think is that like a Spanish dancer or something. I'm not really sure. But quite interesting. Then you have this really cool thing, which is obviously this was not going to be a character, but they took Heavy D and made him into some sort of like a robot ship or something. But that's not this is just a cool design. Again, pretty cool characters that I don't see them fit in the game. The next thing is this genie looking thing. He even has a lamp tattooed into his forehead. So this would have been a genie from a lamp, which is, what are we talking about here again? It would have again maybe fit a World Heroes game. Definitely not a King of Fighters character. The next one is I'm not sure. I think it looks like kind of reminds me of Charlie Nash from the Street Fighter series. Looks like a guy, maybe is it military? I don't think so, but he has a hairdo of a Street Fighter character from what I can tell. And he has a whip. So, and this is not the only character with a whip, by the way. At the end, we're gonna end up having, of course, whip, or as she's known, Mushiko in Japan, which is from the King of Fighters 99 onwards. The other character is this Butler looking dude, maybe an early design of, Hyde. I'm not sure if he's supposed to be, as it says here, that he's supposed to be Rugal's Butler. Of course, that was changed, and we ended up having Mature for the King of Fighters 94 and Vice for 95. So this was an early design for a Butler for the game's boss, Rugal. Another character here is, again, using whip. So they really wanted to have a character using the whip. And they even call her an SM using woman. Yeah, all right. I'm not sure that's going to be okay nowadays, but it's an interesting design, I would say. She kind of looks goofy with those, eye mask and cape. Like a superhero wouldn't have fit the aesthetics of the King of Fighters 94. And finally, we have another character here in this page, at least. Not supposed what he's supposed to be doing. He looks like evil guy, has hell tattooed on his chest, and it seems that he's actually enhanced. Pressing a button on his forearm makes him power up for some reason. He has a knife. Looks like an evil brother to John Crowley from Auto Fighting. And then there's this one that I actually saw the first when on that tweet, and this is an early design of the Prisoners team. Of course, that turned out to be the Kim team. We had the Prisoner team in the King of Fighters 14, obviously. But as you can see, so Chang Kohan is there. You can see him. It's pretty much the same design. He's a little bit scarier here. Like he has a big scar on his eye. And then we have this guy here with the knives, which kind of looks like an early design of Choi Bounge. And the other character is, we've never seen him. We're not going to see him probably because he looks kind of goofy with all those tattoos and hairdo. Obviously, Chang stayed how he is. The other guy with the knives turned into Choi, and I love Choi, so I'm happy that happened. And of course, that third guy was ditched in favor of my all-time favorite KOF character, Kim Kap-hwan. Pretty awesome. Then we have this other team that obviously didn't make the cut, which was crazy because that looks exactly like Tarzan there with his monkey cheetah. That's the only thing I can think of. There's some weird-looking wrestler, like coming from a different time, and then we have like a hunter, I guess, wearing a wolf's mask, or hoodie, whatever you want to call it. But again, this team, for example, would fit in a World Heroes game. If they have World Heroes 4 and they put this team in, I'll be fine with it. It makes sense. But imagine these guys fighting Terry and Kyo and fighting Ryo Sakazaki and all that. It just does not look right. And I realize they probably said, yeah, that's not a good design for what we're trying to achieve here. The next one is a circus team. We have like a circus leader. We have a clown, and it's just crazy looking team. Which again would not, imagine if this is in the King of Fighters 94. It's just not going to be the same, because the King of Fighters compared to other fighters at the time it had this, it felt more mature to me. I mean, I was playing Mortal Kombat, obviously that doesn't get more mature than that, but it felt real in a way and relatable. It's kind of strange I'm not finding words to explain it, and these characters do not fit at all. The next team looks like an early design of the American team. So we have what looks like Heavy D with a different costume. We have some rapper dude, I guess, from the 90s. I mean, this was the 90s, so that looks like a rapper from the 90s. And the other guy also seems like, I don't know, a rapper, I guess. I don't know. It's just a weird team. But this is the design, the early design and sketches for the Team America. And this one here is kind of strange. There's like 3 weird looking dudes, and again, let them be in World Heroes, no problem for me. But this is not just no. You can't imagine them in King of Fighters, right? Weird, kind of. So this is like a team with some there's like Hebi, which is snakes. So the snakes focused team for some reason. They all have snake tattoos or something. I'm not sure if those things were supposed to be their special moves or what. But yeah, that would not have been my King of Fighters for sure. And finally, here we're done with the unused characters, and now we're moving to some early designs of current characters that we all love. So here we're looking at Chin Gensai, and as you can see, he looks like Chin, but the costume is different. It's more traditional Chinese, I would guess, which would have worked as well. I don't have a problem with that. As you can see, another design had him, you could see his eyes, which was, they didn't go with that, and we have his hair since 94 covering the majority of his face, right? But he looks fine with this changes. I don't have any problems with it. Speaking of changes, we'll have a look here at C Kansu, and he's wearing the costume he used to wear in the Psycho Soldiers 2 video game, and this is kind of similar to what we end up having in the King of Fighters 13. Of course, it's different in the Orochi saga and the other sagas, the other titles of the King of Fighters, but I wouldn't have minded that as well. It just does not look bad. It's interesting. As you can see here with Kensu, Athena was also supposed to have a different costume, and then they changed that. There's not a lot of details here. I'm not sure. Is that sort of leggings or what? But it's not. Yeah, but that's an early design of Athena. The Ikari team, or the Brazilian team at the time, was also different because while Hydran looks pretty much the same for both Raph and Clark, they were gonna go with their design from the Ikari Warriors games, right? Just look at that. This is exactly how they looked in the Ikari Warriors. And at the last minute, I guess, they decided to give them a new look. And I'm happy with the new look because this Ikari Warriors look, I mean, they're kind of similar except of a head swap. So I'm happy they went with the design we ended up having. And some of it was used, I guess, you can think of it, in the King of Fighters 13 again, a little bit, not all of it, but you get the point. The Korea team, or Kim's team, as it later is going to be renamed. Now we all finally see Kim in there. We see Choi, and Chang was still slightly different. He has that skull and bones, pirate design on his shirt, and he has a giant scar on his face. Also, that was obviously removed, and even if it was there, you wouldn't have seen it in the actual game. The America team was still going through changes. We saw the early version, which we had Heavy D and two rappers, which looked kind of weird. Then they changed Heavy D as a boxer now, shirtless, which is not how he ended up being. Lucky Glauber looked completely different, but this is where they decided they're gonna go with a basketball player, and of course, we have Brian Butler here, but looking completely different, looking more sinister and scary. You can't see his face. He has some spikes. There's a big, B in there, supposed to be for Brian. But yeah, he looked almost close to how he is, but now he's wearing a helmet. Of course, he's not wearing the helmet in the game. So this is, again, it kind of reminds me of that character from World Heroes. Pretty cool stuff. And we have a look at Team Japan. Kyo, Daimon, and of course Benimaru. And as you can see, Benimaru and Daimon look the same, but Kyo looks quite different, and people who play the King of Fighters, and specifically King of Fighters 99 and 2000 would know that how the story of Kyo, he was not, originally this is how he was going to look like. He was to be the hero of the King of Fighters 94, but that was not going to be his name. He was not going to be called Kyo. His name was Syo, S-Y-O, Kirishima, Kirishima. So this is Syo Kirishima. And what happened is they took this design and they made Syo a different character. He's a striker, actually, in the King of Fighters 99 Evolution. As well as the King of Fighters 2000. It was a striker in 99 Evolution, which was not the original 99, and then he was a striker for Kyo in the King of Fighters 2000. He doesn't have any story, right? I mean, as far as I know. But yeah, this is pretty cool, and I love what I'm seeing. I love this series so much, as you probably know. And to be able to see these things about my favorite, King of Fighters 94, as I said, holds a special place in my heart because it was my introduction to this amazing series, and I was there from the beginning, and I can't wait what the future holds for this amazing franchise. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about all these designs, about the unused characters and the early designs of our beloved characters. Let me know in the comment section which one do you like, which characters from the unused sketches do you think would have made sense for the King of Fighters, or are you gonna agree with me that all of them kind of don't fit the King of Fighters series? Let me know all that and more. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video from Neo Geo Now. Now don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not done so, and I would like to take this opportunity and thank my patrons for supporting the channel and making this content possible. Making daily videos, and especially the documentaries and lore episodes, takes a very long time and a lot of effort, and being able to get some support for these time-consuming tasks allow me to keep going and strive for more and better content. With that said, I want to give a big special shout out to Michael, Brian Yard, Fahad Al-Suwaidi, SSBM Slick Tricks, Jacques Paul, and Karsten Bear. As well as special thanks to Shaka Asamiya, Refugio Robles, Felipe Guimara, Jihao Ju, Muhammad Al-Blushi, Anthony Longino, and Bernd Ritnas. Those of you who are not yet NeoGeoNow patrons, I hope you will check my Patreon page where you can become patrons, helping the channel produce more videos as well as receive special perks that are exclusive to patrons, like early access to videos, exclusive making-offs, and other SNK digital goodies. Link for the NeoGeo Patreon page is in the description below. So until next time, thank you for watching.